22 West.
We are 22 West Radio. 22 West Radio is 22westmedia.com at 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now our world broadcasting tag team champions of the world.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And we are BTR. This is Beyond the Ropes Pro Wrestling Talk. What episode are we on? We're like 96?
Yeah, 96.
Alright, so we're almost to the 100th mark.
I don't know what date is that going to fall on.
Well, depending on if we can do the show every week, I think it might be the 18th.
Because the 11th is a holiday.
Right, I think it's the 18th. Could be wrong though. Could be the following week. But hopefully we'll have James with us because he's currently on assignment once again. He's
Cruiserweight division's very demanding.
well, no, apparently it's falling apart. The 205 Lives might be canceled soon, so James might be out of work soon. No, but yeah, he's on assignment covering, I believe, the UCLA practices and all that. So hopefully he'll be with us next week on episode 97. But for now, it's just going to be Rob and I going a little old school. As always, you can give us a like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/beyondtheropes, and you'll find over 90 videos uploaded there of every episode we've ever done, as well as over several predictions and additional content we want to post. We are also all on Twitter at EthanNB95 for me and
Rob Flores Media.
for Rob, and you can follow our group account, the official show's account, at RealBTR Radio, at RealBTR Radio. That is RealBTR Radio, and BTR Radio has 2 R's in it. And we are also on YouTube. YouTube, just search up Rob Flores Media. Beyond the Ropes, you'll find, as of this morning, correct, or yesterday, over 94 episodes?
Yeah, 94.
So, we're missing last week's episode, but I know Rob's been a little busy, but he's getting those up there, so hopefully by the 100th we'll have 99 episodes posted, and we're going to hit a 2 hours. We're going to take over Rob's show. We discussed that last week, so we're going to do a special 2-hour Beyond the Ropes episode, much like we did last week unexpectedly. It was kind of a last minute decision, but we are planning to do a double show for our 100th, whenever that may be. Hopefully we'll know sooner than later, once we get our schedules worked out here. Some interesting news came out over the last week in pro wrestling, but we can confirm, I don't know if you heard about this, but Eric Bischoff's not working for WWE anymore.
That's so sad. The potential.
He worked for only a few months. He was brought back a few months ago as the executive director for SmackDown to kind of be the head of creative, essentially. Right below Vince McMahon.
I don't think there'd be like a no-compete clause for him because like he's a big name.
He's done with all the. No, I don't think so. Like, he's done with the company altogether. He's not working for them. He discussed it on his podcast, 83 Weeks, where he said there's no bad blood. It just didn't work out, and it wasn't what Vince wanted. He was hired back in June, along with Paul Heyman, to serve as respective directors for Raw and SmackDown. Bischoff even moved, along with his family, from Wyoming to Connecticut, where WWE headquarters is located. So that's a big thing. I believe he drove, so it took like a week or something, because he kept making stops. But that's crazy. He moved in his entire life to a place where he thought he was going to be at for at least a couple of years. He did state in his podcast that he wasn't expecting to work for them for very long, but he would have liked it. He was expecting a couple of years out of it. He wasn't expecting, anywhere from 5 to 10 years. But he didn't realize it would only be, 3 months, less than 3 months. So
it's because he doesn't work late.
Yeah, there were a number of rumors just kind of going around saying after 7 o'clock you couldn't contact them pretty much. He went out to dinner with his wife and so on and so forth, and he wouldn't be able to see him and get him for those late night meetings that they would have, sometimes running to 3 in the morning. So pretty crazy.
At least he got a huggy, like CM Punk says.
A what?
A huggy.
Why would he get a huggy?
Because Punk said something about like when he was leaving, he at least said, "Give me a huggy."
Oh dear. We did get confirmation about his replacement. Hear about that? I know you're excited about this.
Yes.
Bruce Pritchard is officially replaced Eric Bischoff. Bruce Pritchard, aka Brother Love, as many may know. He's been involved with a lot of wrestling in the last 40 years probably. He was there in WWE during the Attitude Era. He's worked for TNA Impact, and he's recently come back to WWE earlier this year in a creative role and is officially taking over SmackDown as the executive director to replace Eric Bischoff. Yeah, this is huge news. What is he gonna do exactly? I mean, I don't know what kind of changes. Fox, since SmackDown has been on Fox, they've expected kind of big ratings and big moments. The show was good last week. The ratings have slipped though, so it's going to be interesting to see if that plays a role into some of the creative decisions as well as what Fox wants, because they want a big atmosphere for their show. So we'll see what happens there. Some other news. Let's get into some Crown Jewel news, because it's some big events are happening. Some big matches are happening 1 week from Thursday, October 31st, Halloween, as I like to call it, the real life Halloween Havoc. They really missed out on an opportunity here calling it Halloween Havoc. But we can confirm that Team Hogan will take on Team Flair. That's right, 2 teams managed by 2 Hall of Famers, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. And Team Hogan had a bit of a change in leadership, because Seth Rollins will be taking on The Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere match where there must be a winner. The match cannot be stopped for any reason. Roman Reigns is officially the team captain for Team Hogan, along with Ali, Rusev, Ricochet, and the newly named Shorty G.
Rusev is good?
Yeah, he's in face for a couple weeks now. But yeah, Shorty G, formerly known as Chad Gable, is officially that's his name now. So, they're kind of making it work, because it fit into his promo last week. He cut a really good promo and said, "I don't care what you guys call me Shorty G for all I care." So, that's his new name, I guess. We also got Team Flair's final member tonight. It will be Team Captain Randy Orton along with King Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre was announced at the start of tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. So 2 very solid teams. I don't know who's going to win this one.
Why is The Miz not representing Ric Flair?
Well, Team Flair's team is full of heels, so...
So The Miz is babyface.
He's been, yeah. I mean, he had that feud with Shane, remember?
So is he not using the Figure 4?
No, he uses it. He's just a face. He's not really doing anything right now. He's just been hosting Miz TV. So. But, yeah, it's essentially Team Flair is a bunch of bad guys, heels. Team Hogan is a good guys. I'm assuming it's probably going to be Team Hogan winning this just because Saudi Arabia, but we'll see what happens there. That's one of the big matches set for Crown Jewel 1 week from Thursday.
So technically Hogan's back surgery would be like after?
Is he going to have back surgery?
Well, the whole idea that he wants a match with Vince, like...
That doesn't mean it's going to happen. I don't think WWE wants to put Hogan in there.
I mean, Hogan wants to wrestle bad, even if it means he's going to wrestle as nurses or something at the end.
Well, Hogan, I'm sure Flair wants to wrestle bad too, but that doesn't mean they're going to let him wrestle. I don't see that happening.
Bent the rules and just go to another promotion if he really wanted to.
No, I think they both want to wrestle in WWE. I think they've had their taste in TNA.
All their tests, they can't pass. That's why Mick Foley couldn't go ahead and wrestle there.
He shouldn't. He can barely walk. He always limps.
That's why he had those Impact matches instead.
Yeah, those tragedies, those called matches, for sure. So yeah, Crown Jewel is shaping up to be something, alright. Whether it's good or bad, but it is shaping up to be something. Something else, some big news. Getting through the news kind of quickly here, but New Japan, did you hear about it? It just happened this morning. Maybe not, I guess.
Oh, I thought it was the AAA mega title thing.
No, what was that?
Kenny won the mega title.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega won the Mega Championship. The Mega, what is it? It's
Yeah, I think it's just the
AAA Mega Championship, I
belt.
think it's called. Which is, it's their world title? Or, no, it's not.
They have so many belts in that
I
promotion.
know, there's a lot. I don't remember which one's their main title, but Kenny Omega did win the championship over the weekend, I believe. And so, I mean, there's a working relationship for sure with AEW and AAA. So, I wonder what that's gonna lead to. I know he beat Phoenix for that title, because Phoenix was the champion.
Oh.
So, and Lucha Brothers are in AEW right now, so that's interesting. Getting back to some big news, we've got some New Japan news. We don't really talk about New Japan, but they had a press conference this morning where they officially announced the New Japan Pro Wrestling of America. That's right, they're gonna have a subsidiary establishment in the United States.
What's that mean?
It means they're gonna have a promotion in the United States. Yeah, it's big news, right? Well, they already have.
I mean, okay.
The company will be based in California and begin operations in November. So, I mean, they already have an LA dojo here. So, this is some more details from the New Japan Pro Wrestling website here. The CEO, Obari, is his last name, gave a presentation dealing with the structure of New Japan Pro Wrestling of America and the decision making behind its establishment, the creation of the promotion. He explained is the third phase of New Japan Pro Wrestling's expansion in the U.S. and other international markets. Phase 1 was discovering new wrestlers in markets outside of Japan and developing talent through the LA Dojo, which is true, they've done all that. They've incorporated a number of American wrestlers in their New Japan Pro Wrestling promotion, as well as the Los Angeles Dojo, by training a number of them. Phase 2 was announcing and running events in the United States, which they have. They've actually done it here, right on our campus at the Walter Pyramid. Fun little fact there. Including Madison Square Garden and Dallas this year, both independently and with the assistance of other promotions. And the official Phase 3 was the establishment of a company within the U.S. and be ingrained in the everyday fabric when it comes to fans, wrestling's consciousness. He went on to explain what had to come next as New Japan Pro Wrestling of America moves forward. Growing a footprint and increased consciousness in America will become a key factor, especially as competing cash-rich promotions are being established. So in other words, he's talking about AEW and all that and such. But yeah, how do we feel about this?
I mean, so many promotions are trying to pick up big names, especially, Impact's doing quite a bit, thanks some
Yeah,
people.
we're going to talk about Impact in a little bit because they got a number of people last night at their Bound for Glory event. We could go into a little more detail in a little bit. But before we hit a commercial break here, this is the touring structure for New Japan Pro Wrestling of America that we will see run in 5 key areas. In the West, there will be 6 cities across 4 states. In the Midwest, or just as mid, 7 cities across 6 states. In Texas, there will be 4 cities. Southeast, 6 cities across 4 states, and in the East, 4 cities across 3 states. So, they're definitely looking to expand. It'll be interesting to see if they use a lot of talent that they currently have. I would assume they have to on their New Japan roster. We're going to see maybe some of them move over to the American promotion I don't know if they're gonna have like a weekly programming show or anything, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for more details regarding that. They're supposed to start in November, so that's literally in like 2 weeks. I don't know what they're planning. I don't think they have any announced shows in the U.S. right now, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know if it's just from a corporate standpoint, they're gonna start working on it in November, or if it's actual the running of events happening. But when we return, we're gonna talk about Impact Wrestling and their Bound for Glory event, as well as some more AEW and NXT news that happened over the week. And Rob and I are gonna have a little discussion. We need to discuss our little fantasy league we're starting here in a couple of weeks, because some key players have raised their stock over the weekend. So we're gonna see who's potentially in the running to getting picked from one of our teams here. All that and more right here on Beyond the Ropes.
Hey beach fans, come check out the new Planet Fitness in Long Beach, the judgment-free zone on Zemeno Avenue. This Planet Fitness runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have free and unlimited fitness training, as well as tons of cardio equipment. Don't wait, join your judgment-free zone now. Go Beach!
Enjoy the best classic hits with the Even Richard Stevens. Songs from the 60s, 70s, and 80s that made it on the charts are classic hits. And there are thousands of songs to choose from, sometimes fast, and sometimes these songs are pretty and slow that touch your heart and soul. Even Richard Stevens. Classic hits at the beach. Now 2 hours on Mondays from 3 to 5 p.m.
Get ready, because I'm tagging you in to tune into 22S Radio every Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, yeah!
As myself, Rob Flores, James Williams, and Ethan Ortiz discuss everything related to the professional wrestling industry.
That was great! Yeah! Right to the kisser! Quiet, McMahon, I'm trying to watch this!
So don't miss a single episode of Beyond the Ropes.
Hi, I'm Manny Valladares. I am a fourth-year journalism major, and you're listening to 22 West Radio.
And we're back with Beyond the Ropes, excuse me. We are BTR. This is episode 96, Rob. That's crazy. We've been doing this for almost 3 years. Yeah, we're almost 3 years. And 2 years on this station. And we're almost to our 100th. So be sure to stick around the next few weeks. We're going to get there very soon with a special 2-hour edition once we take over Rob's show. And we'll have our third member here, hopefully. He isn't busy, quote unquote, on assignment, as I called him out in our group chat. But as always, you can give us a like on our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes is where you can give us a like, where we post videos, predictions, and so much more. We are also currently on YouNow with the hashtag
Ask questions.
and we are also on YouTube. Search up Beyond the Ropes and you'll find over 90 episodes uploaded as of today, or last night, 94 episodes. So we're almost there. And then on Twitter you can follow me at EthanNV95 and Rob at
Rob Flores Media.
and our show's account at Real BTR Radio. That is BTR Radio. And that BTR Radio has 2 hours in it, so there you go. Having a bit of an off day. No, it happens. But we've got some results to discuss. Impact Wrestling. This semester's kind of just, this season of Beyond the Ropes has kind of just been a wild ride because there's so much wrestling to discuss that we don't get to talk about everything. So it's been interesting to see what news has comes out from what show. And Impact had a Bound for Glory event that was pretty big. as they transition to their Access TV official network now, they had a big major event, and they had a number of new wrestlers as well as some fan favorites be involved in the event. So we're gonna run through this card, discuss it a little bit, maybe discuss the future, and maybe discuss some potential picks for our very own fantasy league that we are starting. So the show opened up with the Call Your Shot Battle Royal. Have no idea what that means, but it happened. Eddie Edwards comes up first, followed by Reno Scum, and the newly signed, this is your favorite wrestler, right, Rob?
Oh.
Joey Ryan.
Oh.
Yes, infamous, I guess, I don't know if you want to call him famous or infamous wrestler Joey Ryan has officially re-signed with Impact Wrestling, with his official quote saying, you know, they accept me for who I am, and he can pretty much do what he does, as well as continue working the independent scene, as well as running his own independent promotion, Bar Wrestling, which happens right here in California.
I'm sure he could have had the same freedom doing AEW.
Possibly. I don't know if they wanted to limit his independent working dates, because I think they probably would have been exclusive. I haven't seen anyone from AEW working anywhere else. Then we had the Desi Hit Squad, and then the Deaners. I have no idea who half these people are. I'm gonna have to start watching some Impact again. Once they officially move to Access, happening next week. I believe they're having, this is Impact tomorrow night on Access TV, which is, I guess, explaining their roster and everything. So
Does Ring of Honor even have like big names left?
Ring of Honor has become the new Impact Wrestling from like 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Impact Wrestling is officially like the Ring of Honor now, because everyone wants to work there apparently. So another group of names that came out in this match: Havoc, Rosemary, Madman Fulton, Johnny Swinger, Jordan Grace, Swoggle. So our favorite Hornswoggle was there. Tommy Dreamer, former AEW wrestler Kylie Ray. Some interesting possible reasons why she might be in Impact and no longer in AEW, but there's been no confirmation on any of it. Sabu was in that match. Yeah. Raj Singh, Fala Ba, and Shira was the last to come out. Final four was Ba, Edwards, Fulton, and Shira. Shira eliminates Ba after a burning hammer over the top rope. Edwards eliminates Fulton after running the ropes, and Edward pulls down the rope. Edwards pins Shira after the Boston Knee Party. So Edwards got the victory there. He's been kind of in an interesting storyline with a person we're going to be discussing in just a little bit, the new X Division champion. So next up, we had the Knockouts Championship match between Taya Valkyrie and Tennille Dashwood, formerly known as Emma. This probably was a good match, I would assume, because they're both really good wrestlers. Taya ultimately won the match, pinning Dashwood. Next up, we had a tag team match: The North taking on RVD and Rhino, and Rich Swann and Willie Mack in a triple threat Impact Tag Team Championship match. Ultimately, RVD turned on Rhino and betrayed his partner. So the North ended up retaining their tag team titles. This was an interesting contest. Michael Elgin took on Marufuji, who I believe is wrestling in Pro Wrestling Noah. Ultimately, Elgin won with a burning hammer. It looks like everyone's using the burning hammer in this. It's become a very common move, I guess. Next up was a buzzworthy match, for sure, for the X Division Championship in a ladder match. I don't know if you saw some of the GIFs that were going around Twitter, but some crazy spots. So Jake Christ, the current champion, took on Tessa Blanchard. That's right, she was in the X Division ladder match, taking on Ace Austin, AC Romero, who was just signed over the weekend, and Daga. This was a crazy match. AC Romero, who's like 300 pounds, was pushed off the ladder into a table. It looked pretty brutal, to say the least, but it was a fun looking spot at least. There were a number of ladder crashes and table spots. Ultimately, my personal favorite, Ace Austin, won the title after stealing it from Tessa Blanchard. Hit her with one of like his cane or something, and picked up the X Division championship, which he's calling the Triple X Division now. So, yeah, he's been an interesting storyline with Eddie Edwards and his wife, and yeah, so Ace Austin is definitely up and comer. He's been with the company for about a year now, so potential pick.
Did the X Division go back to no weight limits and stuff?
I mean, Tessa Blanchard's in it, so yeah, it's always kind of been, yeah, it's always been no weight limit, pretty much.
There was a time where they eventually did add a weight limit.
They did, and they were doing that with Bully Ray, where he was supposedly under the weight limit and all that, but yeah. Then we had OVE members Dave Christ and Madman Fulton come out to stop Tessa Blanchard. Oh, that was during the match, excuse me. Dave got this out of order for some reason. Oh, Newsweek. You failed me. But Moose and Ken Shamrock. So this was something James actually tweeted at me, but Ken Shamrock was wrestling at the age of, 54, I believe? He did a flip. He did an Undertaker dive over the top rope and almost landed head first. Luckily, Moose saved him. But I believe Moose got the victory after a spear on Shamrock. Shamrock looks to be in incredible shape. So, what are your thoughts, Rob?
I think he should have saved whatever match he had left in him for WWE.
It could still happen.
At this point, Attitude Era people, they hold off and they come back and they show up as a video game person first, and they're like, surprise! I got one match left.
I'm sure we'll see him in WWE ring again soon. I don't know what this deal with Impact was. I think it was just a one-off, so I'm not expecting him to stick around. But who knows? I mean, if he liked it, he could be sticking around. I don't know what his MMA career, if he still has one, if he's still doing that. So
He should have showed up before Kurt did the whole retirement.
Kurt could not keep up with anyone
Not
in his
even
last
him?
run.
Not
No,
even him? Oh, man.
no. Kurt in his last few matches, he just wasn't looking good. It was time. It was time to hang it up for Kurt.
Ankle lock versus ankle lock.
Yeah, I don't know how good Karen Shamrock looked, but he did a dive, so he must be okay to do some stuff. In the main event, we had Brian Cage, the champion, Impact champion, taking on Sami Callihan, who's raised his stock for sure over the last 2 years in Impact Wrestling. Yeah, this was a no disqualification match. Ultimately, Cage won after the drill claw on thumbtacks. So I believe the drill claw
That
is...
does not sound like it tickles.
No, it sounds very painful. After the match, his wife, Melissa Santos, entered, and they celebrated. So that was Impact. I heard it was a solid show, solid event. I have a few episodes of Impact recorded on my television from... They've been airing some old pay-per-views to get people up to date on Access TV, so I have like 3 from this year, so...
Way to take advantage of buying the network.
Right? I mean, yeah, that's what you gotta do. You gotta promote your stuff. I mean, why not? So I'll be looking forward to watching those, as well as when they officially start airing on Access TV next week. So, big stuff from Impact Wrestling, for sure. Let's see, what else can we discuss here? Usually James is here to help.
I saw there was Cole Cabana. I don't know if, is he having something in Ring of Honor?
I have no idea
It was something on Instagram.
I have no idea what Cole Cabana's been up to.
It's a miracle he's on TV already, Friday, after all the CM Punk stuff already.
Yeah, a lot of drama there with Cole Cabana and Punk there. Let's see what Raw is up to. What's happening on Monday Night Raw right now? Sin Cara's back. He's having a match with Andrade. I know that.
He's still under contract?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know he still existed.
I'm sure a lot of people felt the same way because he's been gone for so long. Yeah, he's having a match with Andrade right now.
Oh my gosh, it reminds me of Punk when he's like, Kevin Nash still around, LOL. Oh, bye.
Jeez. Yeah, so that's happening. But Seth Rollins is not a fan favorite on social media. I don't know if you've heard.
Seth?
Yeah.
Is it because he's with Becky?
No,
Oh.
that's the least of his problems.
Oh.
No. Yeah, he every interview he seems to do, it seems to turn more people against him. So in the most recent interview he did, I guess someone asked him about Kenny Omega and wrestling him, and Seth said, when Kenny wants to stop wrestling in the minor leagues and come up here, then we can have a match. So obviously, wrestling Twitter was not a fan of that.
He clearly isn't reading the Observer and stuff like that to
Well,
get as many stars as him, you know?
I don't think Seth Rollins cares about some stars and an Observer, but yeah, he's not a fan favorite. He said a number of things against AEW and stuff over the last several months. It's really caused him to be
Should have been neutral, like the comments Triple H is telling the media, you know?
yeah. Well, Triple H is at the top of he's helping run the company, so I think he's got to be a little more professional about that. I can understand Seth's sentiment. It's his competition, so he's gotta take little jabs at them. Personally, I feel like he's playing everyone in a sense. He's getting everyone to talk about him, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. So I don't know. We'll see what Seth Rollins does tonight on Raw. Last week I don't know if we weren't on the air, so yeah we were. I think we were, but this happened while we were finishing up. Seth Rollins burned down the Firefly Funhouse.
It was supposed to be somewhere out in the middle of nowhere next to Blue's Clues and stuff.
No, it was backstage apparently. Well, to be fair, it took him a little while to find the place, so it could have been anywhere. But
Oh, man.
But yeah, he burned down the Firefly Funhouse, and tonight he's supposed to give an explanation on why he did it. So, poor Bray Wyatt, he lost his little Mr. Rogers' neighborhood house. I wonder if they're gonna bring that back or how that's gonna go. It's interesting to see where that's gonna go from a storyline perspective.
I hope they still do the whole. If only they did the whole Joseph Parker thing where he plays innocent and he has nothing to do with his alter ego.
Well, that's how they made it seem. Kind of, especially the last few weeks. You know, Bray Wyatt even asked Seth why he was doing it, and he acted all innocent. So, the Fiend and Bray Wyatt are essentially alter egos. We know that for sure. And so, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Bring
what
back the psychologist, Kane and Daniel.
Dr. Shelby. That's a whole different thing. I don't know if you can do that. But, yeah, we'll see what happens with Bray Wyatt. I believe we're going to take another commercial break. But when we return, we're going to discuss any more news I can look up. We'll find out. I don't know. That's how the show goes. We'll see what happens. It's kind of an off day today since James is gone, but we'll get back on it right here on Beyond the Ropes. There's like zero news.
Celebrating and supporting the spiritual journey of departed friends and family, Beach Pride Events presents its Dia de los Muertos event on October 31st. The event happens at USU Southwest Terrace from 12 to 2 p.m. for music, food, activities, and crafts. Visit asicsulb.org or view the Beach Pride event calendar for more information.
Okay, Nene. Tell
Xavier
us,
Woods was
what
saying
is your favorite 22
Oh, yeah,
West
Achilles.
radio show?
Oh, Laparca was in here too.
He's still around too?
Laparca, yeah.
Laparca?
Well, there's two different. There's L.A. Park and there's Laparca.
It's Otaku
I think
Otaku
the original Laparca is L.A. Park now.
Oh.
You can listen to Otaku
But I don't know.
at
It's
22westmedia.com.
I think they like
Wednesdays,
switched
9
before. I don't know.
It's different.
Yeah, I don't know who's who anymore. But there's a
Wait, what was the mini one
What
then?
happened
Was
to
this
bless
mini
the Lord?
Laparca?
And why can't
Oh, that's
I
someone
listen
totally
to
different. I don't know who that is.
Well, we switched hours. You can now listen to Bless the Lord at 2 p.m. and you can listen to Beach Center Reports and Be Gospel Music at 1 p.m. So after you listen to some boring sports, come listen to Bless the Lord here on 22 West Radio and 22westmedia.com
have some fun. Adios every Wednesday. Woo!
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Hey, I'm Rob Flores,
After
the
this will be
host of the
the
Golden
ID.
Spotlight. Join me every Monday at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Pacific as I showcase a variety of guests.
I am what they refer to
So
as an
running
exono
loose.
read.
Hi, I'm Carla Perez, otherwise known as Rita Repulsa, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a television series.
As people have told me before, like, you're really funny, you should try stand-up. And that's probably how every comedian starts.
Took an EMT course 6 months later, and the next thing I know, I was a firefighter. I studied for a little while at the U.S. Institute of Peace.
Every week, someone steps into the spotlight and shares their story. You never know what we have in store on 22 West Radio.
My name is Rachel Hanna, and I'm a fourth-year journalism major at Long Beach State, and you're listening to 22 West Radio.
And we're back with episode 96 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And as always, you can give us a like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, where we post videos, predictions, and so much more. We're also on YouNow with the hashtag
Ask questions.
And you can find us on YouTube. Just search up Beyond the Ropes and you'll find over 90 episodes uploaded. I believe 94 as of this past weekend. And we are also all on Twitter. Search up at EthanNV95. You can give me a follow and you can follow Rob at
Rob Flores Media.
And you can follow the show account at RealBTR Radio. That is RealBTR Radio. BTR Radio has 2 R's in it. Some unfortunate news to report over the last few days. AAA star La Parka suffered a serious injury, which resulted in him having to have neck surgery apparently. This was last night in Monterrey, Mexico. He ultimately tried to do a suicide dive and ended up crashing headfirst into the barricade. His head may have hit the floor at the same time. So a steel barricade and a concrete floor, what it looked like. He was unconscious when help arrived. He was stated to be in stable condition. After a while, he was able to feel his lower body and all that, but apparently he did have some surgery to repair some injuries. So
That's very bad. I think he's done, or else he'll be a skeleton.
A skeleton in real life. Well, the good news is he's gonna be okay. Seems like, but it's very unfortunate. I mean, Rob and I were talking during the break, trying to figure out if this was the original La Parka from WCW or a new one, because there's LA Park, who I think was the original La Parka for a while. I don't know if he still is the same guy, or if it's
Same outfits?
very similar. LA Park, I think, is bigger in size. So I don't know. I really don't know, but very unfortunate. We do know that Xavier Woods also suffered an injury at a WWE live event in Sydney, Australia. He was teaming with Big E. During the match, Woods went down while running the ropes, and the referee did the X gesture, which means calling for help. Big E ended up continuing the match by himself against Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. We do know now that it is an Achilles injury. We don't know the extent of the injury, whether it's going to result in him needing surgery, or if it's just something where he just needs to rest it. I don't know. We have not gotten any confirmation on that thus far.
Kind of puts Kofi halting his heavyweight comeback. They probably have him fill in still for the tag belts. And
No, I think Brock Lesnar halted Kofi's heavyweight comeback, because or Cain Velasquez for that matter, because I don't think Kofi's going to be in that division anymore, which is unfortunate. So, but I don't know. I mean, he could be. He's still in the opening package on SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown, as kind of a focus. So that could be a good thing, or they could have just left it there just because it was already there. But we'll see. In another interesting note, we're going to be talking more Impact today apparently. because the Young Bucks have apparently received an interesting offer from Impact Wrestling. The offer was made by Impact executive Scott D'Amore, who has worked for the company for several years. And it is for Matt and Nick Jackson to return for the TNA Revival show happening during WrestleMania weekend. As noted earlier, Impact plans on bringing back the TNA brand for one night with some names and stipulations from the past.
Oh, what, Generation Me?
Yeah, they're gonna bring back Generation Me.
Oh, God.
Yes. Forget the Young Bucks. Bring back Generation Me.
Oh, man. That's so sad.
Yeah. So it I don't know what they said, but apparently as part of the offer, D'Amore suggested having the Bucks wrestle the Motor City Machine Guns.
So this is the one night only type of pay-per-view.
It's gonna be a one night only during WrestleMania weekend, where they bring back the original TNA brand.
If WWE gave permission to give some people, like...
I don't know why they would if...
I mean, their library.
I mean, well...
It sweetens the pot.
I don't know if that's something they would do, though. I feel like if Impact is contacting AEW guys to come back, like, I don't think WWE wants to be associated with AEW.
At least give Christian.
Poor
guy. Poor guy.
Christian's retired. I don't think he wants to. He
didn't get a true retirement.
I don't think he wanted to go to TNA when they took him back for the Hall of Fame that one night. I don't think he wanted to be a part of it. He didn't seem too happy to be there. So, we do know that AEW reportedly does not want to piggyback off WWE events taking place during WrestleMania weekend, so there might not be an AEW show during that weekend. So it would free up the Young Bucks, but we'll see what happens, I guess. I don't know if they've replied to his tweet yet, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get to see Generation Me reunite. Yeah, they could wear
nothing with them.
They could wear those black jeans that they wore, and yeah, should be fun. So yeah, that's kind of everything in a nutshell this week.
Beer money.
Well, James Storm is in NWA Power now, and Robert Roode is in a new tag team with Dolph Ziggler. So I don't see that happening. But let's talk about our wrestling league here, our fantasy wrestling league. All right, Rob. 30 wrestlers. That's kind of changed. I kind of want to keep it 30.
Yeah.
I know James mentioned possibly 25, but I think we could have. Essentially, I originally said 15 male, 10 women, and 5 tag teams. I'm thinking maybe 10 male, 10 women, 5 tag teams, and 5 wild cards.
Wild cards meaning what?
Wild cards meaning they could be any.
Legends?
No.
Hall
No,
of
they gotta
Famers?
be active wrestlers, Rob. You can't bring people back from the dead. No. No.
How about the ones that occasionally dust off their boots or whatever?
Why would you want that? You're gonna waste your points on that. This is a weekly earning point system here. The wild cards being they could be a male, they could be a woman, they could be a tag team, they could be any extra you want. Anyone. They don't have to be in a specific group.
But they have to wrestle.
Yes, they have to be active. Everyone has to be active. This isn't our fantasy booking. This is officially like a fantasy league here. Factions would be considered a team. So 3 or more, 2 or more are all tag teams. Wrestlers must come from WWE, NXT, AEW, Impact. Other options include the NWA because they do have a weekly show now on YouTube, NWA Power.
Are there any American AAA people or no?
No, I don't. I mean, here's the thing: we don't know their weekly programming, so that's why I don't know if they would.
Where's Jack Evans?
He's in AEW.
Oh.
So, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they don't have a weekly show, but they are on Access TV, airing like episodes that are a few weeks old. So I don't know if they count either. And WoW Women of Wrestling, again, they tape their stuff. So I don't think we would include them. It would mainly be WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling, possibly NWA. But essentially the rules, every week, myself, Rob, and James, who is not with us today, will earn points by the roster competing or appearing on television. point system here. And again, this could all change. We could all sit down before a show or something and decide this. And but as of right now, 5 points for a match, having a match and getting the victory by pinfall, submission, or knockout. 4 points for getting a victory by disqualification, countout, or forfeit. 3 points for standing tall, not necessarily having a match, but if you get in a brawl or something and they stand tall, you get 3 points for that. 2 points for cutting a promo, just a promo. You're on TV, you're cutting a promo, you get 2 points. 1 point for just appearing on TV. You don't have to do anything. You can be in the background. Whatever wrestler's on TV, you get a point for that. And 0 points for losses and having no appearance on TV. If they're not on that week, nothing. Or if you lose, you get nothing. So, that's kind of the system we have right now. We can figure things out. A few wrestlers stock that rose. I tweeted it from the official BTR radio account. As I get the list uploaded here. We have Chris Jericho, who defended his championship, the AEW championship, this past Wednesday on Dynamite. Had a victory. The Lucha Brothers, who are also in AEW, picked up the victory against I believe, Jungle Express? Could be Jurassic Express, excuse me, of Marco's son and Jungle Boy. So they advanced in that tournament. From Impact, Ace Austin, who won the X Division Championship. Joey Ryan, who signed with Impact, so that was a big comeback. And from NXT, Damian Priest, who defeated the longest reigning NXT UK champion, Pete Dunne. So some of their stock rose, in my opinion. And they could be potential standouts for the fantasy draft coming up. Do you have any names in mind? You don't have to give any spoilers on who you want
I know. How are we gonna determine the order? What are we gonna do? We're gonna toss a coin or something.
That's what I was. No, we can't. Well, we can't toss the coin 3 ways. But
it stays in the middle.
Yeah, it stays in the middle, right? So I was thinking. I think there's an app where it could just pick randomly, but we would go in order after that. After the first one, obviously. So if you get it first, and me second, and James third, we just keep going in that order. I'm thinking we have 6 rounds, where we have 5 picks each per round, and I actually wanted to set up having like a camera set up facing the wall or something, or facing this way, and having a chair here. So every time we make a pick, we'd have to sit on the chair and kind of face the camera as we were making our picks, or pick.
From like a paper or something, or what?
No, just like announcing it to the camera or something. So it's just a little bit of a different direction for the show, I guess. So we'll talk about that a little more later, but just something different for our 100th episode that is happening very soon. We should all dress up nicely. Rob's always dressing up nicely for his program coming up in about 10 minutes. But James and I need to dress up a little bit. Can't be wearing hats all the time. Although I might break out the Undisputed Era hat again, because why not, right?
I feel like JR only I don't have a little barbecue sauce to like pop.
Oh, we should have a little bit of the bubbly. We should have some bubbly, right? We gotta celebrate. It's gonna be our 100th episode. But yeah, for sure, we're definitely doing the live draft on the air, and hopefully we'll be doing more. Right now, it is time for 305 Live, apparently, because
305?
Yeah, the Viking Raiders, the new Raw Tag Team Champions, by the way, taking on Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. So, yeah, that's happening. And they apparently won 43 seconds ago. So, nice little spoiler for everyone. So, yeah, that's kind of what's been going on in wrestling lately. Any other news, Rob? Thoughts, predictions?
Oh, I was just wondering, has the Cruiserweight title been seen on TV since it got won?
Not on NXT. No, it's only been like 2 weeks. So. But I'm sure it'll be on this week. Lio Rush is the NXT champion. Drew Gulak did get drafted to SmackDown, so former cruiserweight champion. So I don't think he's gonna get a rematch for that title anytime soon. He got demolished by Braun Strowman this past week, so.
Not a good way to debut.
No, not at all. That's very unfortunate. But he is on the same brand of guys like Chad Gable and Daniel Bryan, who are great wrestlers. So if we're lucky, we might get some good wrestling matches here.
I wonder if Daniel Bryan staying on SmackDown was deliberate.
On what? Like,
cause even before he had retired and he was Intercontinental Champion, it was like, I want to be exclusive to SmackDown. Like, he's on SmackDown.
well, I guess probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it's. They're definitely trying to make it more wrestling based. So there you go. I mean, Daniel Bryan, arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world. So gotta keep him on the Fox show. Any other news here?
What's America gonna do about like authority figures on TV?
On TV?
Yeah.
I don't think we need them. What do we need them for?
I mean, cause then there's more like excitement, like, oh my gosh, like the boss like wanted you to like be in a match, or the boss.
Well,
like,
William Regal is on NXT, and he'll appear. He won't make decisions or anything. I mean, he'll make decisions, but it's not like he's not a heel or anything. He's just a neutral. So.
I mean, that's what made even Maverick like special too, was that he was a GM and got to do different things.
Yeah. Now he's on SmackDown. He can't even go after the 24/7 title because that's on Raw now. So I wonder if that 24/7 title is gonna make an appearance. R-Truth's still your champion, but it hasn't been defended in like weeks. So.
Oh yeah, I saw that post. He was like pouring milk.
Where?
On like Instagram, he was pouring milk in a cup.
Just pouring milk in the cup, just randomly?
Yeah.
That's weird.
With the title on.
Oh, with the title on?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting stuff right here on Beyond the Ropes. R-Truth's pouring milk. And yeah, it's been a very light week in terms of news. So yeah, we're gonna end it on R-Truth, unfortunately. No, so we do have a match later on happening. The OC, AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson taking on the Street Profits and a mystery partner of their choice. Do you have any idea on who it could be? Mystery partner. The OC taking on the Street Profits and a mystery partner.
Oh, what's his name? Cedric.
Cedric is a name I think we brought up, and it's kind of obvious. Yeah. And I feel like AJ's beating Cedric so many times over the last few months.
It's the rise to the occasion to get the belt.
I don't know. I feel like that's done with. It's not Ricochet because he already had a match, so it's not gonna be him. I feel like they've already run Cedric kind of, not into the ground, but at least against AJ right now. Buddy Murphy, maybe. No, he's a heel, I think. So, a lot of speculation. It could be a returning someone, returning John Morrison possibly. I mean that's what I would like it for it to be, but I don't know if that's gonna be the case. We still have no confirmation whether he's officially signed or not. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait after we go off the air to find out. But yeah, all that and more. Hopefully next week we'll have James with us to discuss. I know he'll be happy to talk about Bret Hart again at some point. Just bringing up Bret Hart for some reason. I didn't trash talk Bret Hart this week, which is unfortunate. Should say something about it. No, I tease, but yeah, James, show up to the show next week, so that way we can have a discussion on why Bret Hart is the worst King of the Ring in WWE history. In other news, that's going to do it for us right here on 22S Radio. As always, give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes. You can find us on YouTube, just search up Beyond the Ropes, and you'll find over 90 episodes uploaded there. Rob and I are going to call it quits. We're tapping out. But until next time, this episode of We Are BTR has been absolutely too sweet. See you guys.